And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. How you feeling? How you doing? You hope you're feeling good, feeling great, and all the things in between. And speaking of some backstage politics and all this stuff here, let's talk about Zachary Levy and all this stuff about Shazam Fury of the Gods, which did not do well. It is basically, yep, that's not a good thing. And by the way, Zachary Levy, and this right here says, Zachary Levy backs report that Dwayne Johnson next post credit scene Shazam Fury of the Gods. It says the truth shall set you free. Levi wrote on Instagram. Zachary Levy was casting Thunderbolts Thursday after a report circulated that Black Adam star Dwayne Johnson blocked characters from the Rock's film showing a post-credit scene in Levi's Shazam Fury of the Gods. It was already known that members of the Black Adam's Justice Society of America was originally slated to appear in Fury of the Gods, with filmmaker David F. Sandberg telling the Hollywood Reporter that scene fell apart 3 days because we were going to roll cameras, forcing them to find alternate characters at the last minute. On Tuesday, the rap reported Johnson blocked the characters from appearing in Fury of the Gods, and that the actor and producer also nixed a potential Levi character, Levi cameo in Black Adam. In the Instagram story Tuesday, Levy shared a post mentioning the rap's reporting, and he added his own commentary. The truth shall set you free. Black Adam was a passion project for Johnson, who lobbied to have the classic Shazam protagonist receive his own spin-off movie rather than being included as the villain in 2019 Shazam, which would have fit perfectly, but yeah, that's not. The star and producer was also instrumental in bringing Henry Cavill back as Superman and in a cameo for Adam. Yet when it was released in October, Black Adam disappointed the box office. Soon after, DC went another leadership change, which they have multiple leadership changes. Pretty much killed the chances for the more Black Adam in the DC universe, while also ending Cavill's short-lived revival of Superman. Fury of the Gods and were also disappointed at the box office upon release last week, making the chances of a third Shazam all but impossible. Levy, for his part, has been a vocal defender of the film, wrote the actor on Twitter Monday. I think the biggest issues we're having is marketing. This is a perfect family movie. Yeah, a lot of fans aren't aware of that, which is a shame. I think it is a little bit problem is they didn't know who was the marketing. Who was this for? I saw a lot of commercials, but I felt like they just did not know what was this for. It was terrible piss poor marketing, and that goes to piss poor management. That goes to the people up there in the market, not just in the marketing, but like high up management. Jeff Johns and Hamada. All these people these people were in DC, and again, bad management. So much bad management in DC and such, and they had to bring in James Gunn, who I think is fine. I think they tried to do something with Suicide Squad. I don't know what they're going to be doing with the new DCU, new DC on film. But but this is just again terrible management. Rock basically was doing all this type of numbering on Black Adam, and just it's just pathetic. This is just pathetic, and it tones to what I always say about what management and the people heading the ship. And let's see, who was a I mean, there's so much people here. uh they had all this out. Like I said, Walter Hamada and such. That was a former stuff like that. He didn't. I think there was. I think he was again looking at hard trying to manage budgets, and it's clear they didn't do a good job with that. You got Jeff Johns was a part of it once upon a time. Then you had like Zack Snyder was doing something, one of the more creative ways for the directors to do something other than the DC. Again, the problem with this, they had no structure. They were rushing. And now I think, ironically, they're probably in the best part. I honestly, after all this backstage drama, after all this backstage BS there has been, and honestly, I don't know who it is going to be. And now you hopefully DC Studios is now going to be, I hope it's going to be DC stuff is going to be, you know, first it was I think was it was now I think there was so many issues, so much stuff here. It was Tony Emmerich. It was all this other stuff. It was just so much stuff, so much bad blood. And now with James Gunn and Peter Safran on here, they got a mess, and these things have to be cleaned up. Management has to be who is going to be the head of management, and I honestly believe the best way to do it is management, good management. And at this point, maybe James Gunn is that person, but I don't know. Then let me just go back here. Um, Let me just see this because I want to get this in there before I talk about Marvel. Oh, I get them too. Let me just see here. Let me just look at this. Um, Here it is, right here. Let's just share this tab here. Ben Affleck. It was like this right here. A couple weeks says it broke his heart. This was the worst. Let's see, worst experience I've seen. Seen the business was full of silly experiences. Ben Affleck was, yeah. This is um Batman and Superman. He said he liked the stuff they did. He really enjoyed, and he thought Batman and Superman was really good. And then here it is. The infamous director of called Justice League was that sound him on experiences. She said, "This is his quote: You could teach a seminar on all the reasons why this is how not to do it, ranging from production to bad decisions to horrible personal tragedy." And just ending with the most monstrous taste in my mouth, Affleck said of the production, which brought in Joss Whedon to direct after original director Zack Snyder's daughter died by suicide, which a lot of, I'm going to say some of these online critics were mocking and making fun. That type of stuff right there, which is just a horrible. But then again, this is the internet, so they don't give a fuck. Anyway, the Oscar winner, who has previously said keeps going on, says about playing Kirk says simply brought out directing his own Batman film. Just says, quote, "Justice League baby go, I'm out. I never want to do any of this again. I'm not suited. That was the worst experience I've ever seen. A business which is full of city experiences. It broke my heart. The whole thing was punishing me," Affleck explained. He started drinking too much. I was back in a hotel in London. It was either that or jump out the window. And I just thought, this isn't the life I want. My kids aren't here. I'm miserable. You want to go to work and find something interesting to hang on to, rather than just wearing a rubber suit. And most of it, you're just standing against a computer screen going, if this nuclear waste gets loose, well, that's fine. I don't condescend to that or put it down. But I got to a point where I found it creatively not satisfying. Um, I did have a suit up once more to play the character for Flash. He said, like, in his quote, he says, "I did finally figure out how to play the character, but and I nailed it in the Flash. For the 5 minutes I'm there, it's really great. But don't bet on him save day any other future product." Says, "I would not direct something for James Gunn DC. Absolutely not." A actor said when asked by the Hollywood Reporter. "I have nothing against James Gunn, nice guy. I'm sure he's going to do a great job. I just wouldn't want to go and direct in and go in and direct in the way that they're doing that." Just a terrible experience on, and it mirrors um oh man, it mirrors, let me just look at this again, of the cyborg, um, the character, let me just see, Ray Fisher's, um, his stuff about, Josh Whedon, all this other stuff. It took, and then everyone trashed him. You know what I'm saying? No respect, no type of honesty and integrity. That's what a lot of people are asking, and yet we don't see that. We don't see that respect or integrity. Where is that respect and dignity and just piss poor goddamn management? Too much of this went too long in this whole one, and I hope they got it right. I'm hopeful. I have hope. I know it's a dangerous thing right now as a DC fan to have hope, but damn it, I have it. All right, I do. And I will say I have a little more hope than in Marvel at this because, sweet Lord, or Disney in general. When you have, let me just look here. Let me just share this. Um, right here. Longtime exec Victoria Alonso, exec studio. She was been in the company since the first Iron Man and was president of the physical, post production, and VFX and animation. Um, this was happening this week, and a lot of people are saying this is a good thing. Some people saying it's a bad thing. But here, this is again a shock thing. But then again, you have to remember Disney is doing these cuts mostly because Bob Iger put out the checkbook and credit card. He's been just doing all this credit card stuff and started doing all this, paying everything and buying out all this other studios and companies and not looking at what's going to happen to the bill. The bill always comes due, and it looks like this is the first reign of cuts. And a lot of shows, by the way, again, let me just see. Let me just see. Let me just look and see if I can find this. Let's see. Let's see. Because I know. Let's see. Because there's a lot of shows that that have been let's see if I can find the shows that are going to be here. Let's see. Where is it? Echo. Let's see. I think Echo is being. Let me see. If I can find this here. Because I know there's it's I think that's it's going to be teased for 2023, but let me just see if I can find. And there's a lot of shows that are just going to be on pause because I think this show is on pause at this point. There's so many shows. Marvel is like, okay, we're gonna stop. Let me see if I can find. Let's see. Uh huh. Let's see. Let's see. It looks like it might be sooner. Some say. Um. Oh, there's Phase 5. Oh, and this thing is direct is full of like why Marvel's Phase 5 delays are a good thing. Yeah, that's the ticket. Yeah, Phase 5s and everything else. Okay, let's see. Echo is going to be moved to 2024. What if it's going to be 2024? Um, yep, that's going to be gone to 2024 as well. Blade is going to be the 2024. The Marvels have been the production has been really it's going to be supposedly 2000 and late and such, you know. And then Ironheart was going to be a direct sequel to it, but then it's going to be pushed to 2024. There's a lot of these shows are getting pushed back and trying to fix these the VFX stuff. And then you got these rumors of what why um Victoria Alonso supposedly this is according to IGN.com, so take it with all again this online scuttlebutt and you know let's see here. There was supposedly she was blindsided and Kevin Feige, who was Rock Cross, was pretty not involved. And this is another issue um, of the VFX problem that Marvel has, and heck, Disney. In fact, most of them are. They're acting behind a green screen and not actually having people, just these, and then forcing these poor VFX artists just in a room, typing their computers and putting all this stuff through it, through all these things, and not getting paid as much. You know, who have been, talk about short deadlines with netless nitpicking in a mid, yeah, these things here, a lot of this stuff here. I talked about some of my podcasts as well. You know, these things have been a problem, and this supposedly, this was a reason why is because she was very rough on people who are VFX artists and such. And if that's the case, then honestly, they should be uh, the people behind the VFX should be um, you know not only she should be like let go or fired and such. There should be the people. There should be a less movies and such, but also it shouldn't be a conveyor belt of this. And with AI coming in, I worry because it's going to get this slop, this messy slop of movies. I miss movies that had took time and effort and such. I mean, I love stuff that was movies that didn't need much CGI. In fact, the best one I saw was the Batman. It was a little long, it got too high on itself, but the visual effects I loved because it looked like they actually took time and they crafted it. They crafted it well. And the most of these problems of these VFX artists in Marvel movies, I mean, you look at the stuff, it's same thing with DC. You look at Shazam, Fury of the Gods, it's just this emptiness. This just feels this. It's so fake. It's generic monsters with generic monsters. It's just like we have to do a thing. And you look at someone like Lucy Liu, who is a talented actress who just sits there bored. Like, am I even acting? Am I just pointing at a screen, just looking at writing something there? There's no energy in such. No energy. And it sucks that movies have become this CGI. So much of the CGI hangovers and everything. And I hope that Phase 5 fix that. I hope that they actually start time and fixing these shows, start actually building these things, making things look better, more real, more actual. These shows to be like, wow, this is actually felt like more time has been put on them. And I think that's one of the main issues of these Marvel films and DC and everything else is that they're rushing and rushing and rushing and rushing and rushing. What happened to just say we're going to just sit and craft these things or just putting on a streaming service and no one really cares about them? Willow. Who the hell wanted a Willow series? And second, if, well, honestly, who was going to buy a Disney Plus subscription because of Willow? No one. Nobody. It's very small. That's why it's get canceled. It's over. It's just most of these movies are just and TV shows are just rush slop. Rarely a TV show it feels like, man, I really watch these TV shows. I really felt good watching them. I mean, I like, the last stuff I watched was Doom Patrol. And that was it. That was the one superhero TV show I watched. And even then, it's just like, yeah, it got cut off because of the Warner Brothers Discovery hacking everything up. There's nothing left. Let me say that again. There is nothing left of these, there's nothing left to show these shows anymore because it's just like it's just been hacking and all this stuff to a point just like, well, they're going to try to make something new, but it's like if you're not a major $500 billion hit, you're screwed. Nothing takes time to simmer. Nothing takes time to really cook. I hate that. I actually I hate the fact that this is a thing. I hate this. I hate the fact that these shows are just wasting the people behind these shows, these streaming services, are not letting these shows actually build up a fan base without actually just like, hey, let's just cancel it right now. Just sit back and cancel them. And then, not only that, in the movies, they rush these movies out. When's the last time? And then, I rarely saw. It was. What the best movie I saw this year was Creed 3. You know why? Because it had a personal stakes. The movies had personal stakes. The world wasn't on the goddamn line. It was more a personal story. Jonathan Majors played a better villain than what he was doing, and I mean, he was doing pretty good as you know. What I saw as Quantum Mania, which the stuff I did see was fine, but it could be better. But this right here, Jonathan Majors, really looked like a very good villain. It frustrates me that we don't see movies like that anymore. Personal stories, more of that. And the CGI was there, but it wasn't an eyesore. It wasn't they actually did boxing. It wasn't these in front of okay, some of them felt like it was on a green screen, but most of it felt like it was actually boxing in a ring, not in some weird planet, something, and fighting aliens with swords and like alien magic swords and such. That sort of stuff. I mean, when's the last time we saw that in the movies? Actual, real personal struggles and growth and things that actually felt like things mattered. When's that stuff here? What happens to mattering? What happened to stories that matter? They don't. Nothing matters. To the next goddamn film. And like I said, I hate it. I hate this era of this Hollywood shuns out bull crap over and over and over again. And I just, I mean, you can say just don't watch it or don't, what exactly, cut it off, but it's everywhere. Every single place. And you couldn't just live off on the grid and be like, well, I'm going to live off the grid and such. Not many people are going to do that. All right? Not many. So I think we have to just be living this reality and such as how we can look and say, you know what? Let's try to fix that shit. That's just me. Instead of just trying to run and hide, let's actually try to fix it. That's my personal opinion. Anyway, that's it for the show. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for being here. Uh, hit like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Anyway, this is Dukect here. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.